Yay, we live.
Hey! We just got out of Happy Death Day, which is, I think, the first Groundhog Day knockoff movie I've seen that actually references Groundhog Day in the movie.
Yes. They have officially gone meta now. So it's, yeah.
I kind of had a feeling they would, like, before it actually happened in the film. I had a passing thought earlier, this movie's got a pretty big sense of humor about itself, and given a lot of posters that are on this dorm room wall, I wouldn't put it past this movie to actually reference Groundhog Day in it, which is more than I can say about... This is the second Groundhog Day knockoff movie I've seen this year. The other one was, Before I Wake, is that what it was called?
Is it the Zoe Deutsch one where,
that
she keeps
one.
dying, yeah.
This is a lot better than that one.
This is a lot more fun, I have a feeling. Like, the other one, it seemed like it took itself...
It's
tried to take
super
itself
serious.
Yeah, this is just silly fun.
Yeah, it's Happy Birthday to Me meets Groundhog Day. It's slasher movie Groundhog Day. There's a lot of actually really good things about this movie. Did you like it?
It was fun. I mean, it's nothing like over the top. It knows, like I said, it knows what it is. It doesn't stray from that path, and it pokes fun at it. So it pokes fun at the conventions of college, and
it does do that. There's a lot of really good things here. One, first and foremost, I don't know who the girl is, who's the lead, but she's really good. I can't think if I've seen her in it. I might have seen her in something else. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who the actress is, but whoever it is easily carries this film.
Yeah.
She's super good in this.
I mean, and it's one of those things where it's with any kind of movie where you're playing the same thing over and over again, you have to have some sort of range of differing emotions. It's kind of like the 5 stages of grief, the denial, the acceptance, and...
go ahead, sorry.
She did a very good job of thinking she was crazy, then becoming the determined, final girl trying to survive the day type thing. That was good in it.
Yeah, she handles comedy well, serious bits. This is a really character-based slasher film. It is. It's been a long time since I've seen a slasher movie care this much about its characters. Someone in the chat mentioned she was in La La Land.
Okay. She may have been one of maybe her Emma Stone's actress friends?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I love that movie too. I can't remember who she was in it though. It basically, she's repeating the same day over and over again until she figures out who this person in a mask is that's killing her. And the mask is, I guess their school mascot is a baby.
Which is it's a baby stupidest mascot ever. Yeah, she's one of Emma Stone's roommates.
Okay.
During that scene when they go to the party.
Gotcha.
I do have one complaint.
I have a complaint too.
Mine is nitpicking again, and it falls back to what I do. So I work as a pharmacy technician. So this the last time the EpiPen thing bothered the piss out of me.
Oh.
So... And I've noticed this now in a lot of horror movies that have a hospital setting.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no hospital where you can walk down a hall and you only see 2 fucking people.
Oh.
No. It could be 3 in the fucking morning.
Come on,
man. They
are
fully staffed. The lights are on. There's no fucking dark areas in a fucking hospital ever. They are open 24/7. They are staffed 24/7. You don't have one head nurse chilling at the station and nobody else is making rounds. No, that doesn't fucking happen. That's not the way that works.
Don't you remember Halloween 2?
Yeah, exactly. And I rewatched Halloween 2, and I'm like, God damn it, this pisses me off because there's nobody in this fucking hospital.
Yeah, they're all at a Halloween party.
There should be nurses every fucking where because you know what? They have to be there every fucking hour of the day because there are sick fucking people who could die if they don't show up for work.
Not in off hours, man.
Yeah, fuck it. 3 a.m, nobody dies.
Visiting hours includes the Grim Reaper.
So anyway, if you ever noticed that now, it started to bother me now that I've noticed that, and this one did too. And then there's one cop guarding a door for some killer guy.
Oh.
I'm just like, no. One, they don't just leave them sitting there in the hospispittal bed like that. There's one at the door. There's at least 2. Because I've seen fucking inmates come into the hospital who probably done nothing more than just stolen shit. They come with a fucking convoy. They don't get let out of their sight ever. And they are in chains and they don't leave the chains. They don't have fucking little tiny restraints. No, they're fucking cuffed the whole time. So that was another thing. I was just like, come on, man.
I noticed that too. The hospital thing is something that I do notice in movies. It's just kind of something I'm used to. So I'm like sort of numb to that whenever it happens in a movie.
Yeah, and I don't think I just kind of allowed it. I'm not so much allowed it, but it's like, okay, I glossed over it because But now, now that I've worked in a hospital for as long as I have, I'm like, there's no fucking way any of this would be true. No, especially in fucking. Okay, I'm sorry. Haddonfield, Illinois, fine. It's small. But there's still, it's still a fucking hospital. There would be people. And this is a hospital in fucking Louisiana. There would be people in this fucking hospital. There wouldn't be 3 or 4, because there's the doctor. So you got the nurse, the cop, the killer, and the doctor. No. There's not 4 fucking people. What about all these other beds? Is it just one room? Did they clear the entire hospital? No.
Floor 1, daycare center. Floor 2, they just have everyone crammed in there. The college students, the serial killers, all of that stuff.
And then the chapel, and then the bell tower.
Yeah.
That's all there is. There's one floor in this hospital and a fucking bell tower. So.
And then in the basement, you have Leo Rossi and his nurse girlfriend having sex in the whirlpool.
Yeah, no, fucking whirlpool. Really? Fuck off. I wish we had a whirlpool in our hospital. I'd use it all the fucking time. But no. No. Oh, God.
I love Halloween, too.
I do, too. I really do. But it just bothers me now. And, yeah, having fun with tangents is great, guys.
No, I do have a complaint about this movie. We don't get slasher movies that often anymore, honestly. At least released mainstream like this theatrically. There's a lot I really do like about this movie. I really like how much it cares about its characters, and it's a slasher film that realizes you do have to spend about 90 minutes with these characters. So we should either give them an arc or throw likable people in there. This is a really neutered movie, and that kind of really sucks. Like, I'm not saying. It feels like whenever it's you could have gotten really over the top with this. The movie does have a sense of humor. Like, it does have funny parts in it. And this is a slasher movie where it's the same person being killed every time. That's pretty cool, and that's something I haven't seen in terms of a slasher film.
And the deaths were inventive. It wasn't like it was the same death over and over and over again.
But cuts
the kills
away.
Were neutered.
Yeah, it cuts away every single time. That really sucks. Like, man, you could have given this extra bite. It feels like you're just watching the movie edited for television. It does. Like,
I think the worst you see is when she gets stabbed in the stomach and you just see blood. That's it. Any other time she gets stabbed, it's immediately waking. Like it's a dream, and you die. You waking up from a dream, so you don't see the kills.
Yeah, it feels just. I don't know if it was shot this way or if it's edited this way. If it was shot to be a little more gruesome, I would like this movie even more. I'm not saying that every a horror movie needs to be an R. I'm not saying that. But slasher movies, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
no. Slasher movies, it's not just the death scenes that make a good slasher movie. But, you know, slashing is a key ingredient to a slasher film.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, like, normally if I see a PG-13 slasher movie, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care what it's like, just wait for it to come on video. Why would you pay theater prices to see an edited for television movie? Why would you? That's like paying to see a comedy and they cut out the funny parts.
Or paying to see the TV version of it.
Yeah, that's the miniseries is bloodier than this movie was.
Yeah, it kind of was, yeah.
So, but at the same time, though, I do respect how much this movie really did care about its characters. Like, it gave them some truly human moments in it. And, man, I just wish it really stepped up its game in the other area. I would honestly really love this film.
Just
especially...
ratchet up the kills.
Yeah. Especially because we don't get slasher movies that often anymore. So, yeah, that is just kind of a shit ingredient to this film. But other than that, though, I was entertained. I was rooting for these characters. I liked the main character's arc. I liked her love interest in the movie. I thought he was really good. I thought some of the reveals were really good in the movie. It kept you kind of guessing, because this given the kind of plot this movie is, the main character is someone that starts out as a pretty despicable person. So there are a number of contenders who the killer could easily be. And I liked that about it. And again, I like seeing a slasher movie like this where the main character has a big arc and her big redemption sequences towards the end really work, because she's a very talented actress.
And it's and a very good red herring.
Yeah,
The red herring, you're just like, oh, okay, well, that makes...
Uh-huh.
And then you put it all together, like, okay, that was interesting, that was different, but...
It ends with a couple of good final jokes, too. Like one with a couple of characters talking in the last scene, and another when... spoiler alert, when it goes on to the next day. Excuse me. There were a couple of really good jokes there. Like, so if this is one that you want to wait and see on video in the off chance that it might get an uncut release, I totally understand and I totally get that, because if that's the case, you are paying theater prices to see an edited for television movie, and that's really not cool. But I don't know if it is shot this way and this is just what you get. You know, it's October. You probably do want to see something horror related, and it's on Friday the 13th. There are a lot of really good things about this movie, so I wouldn't really stop anyone from going to see it.
And I mean, if you didn't want to pay full price, you can catch a matinee on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, overall, again, story-wise, it works as a story.
No, it does.
I don't know. You got to wonder if it was something that if they shot those scenes gorier.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, that would make sense to me. Then they could do an uncut version later. But I guess here's the thing with some of the editing is you can't really, because the moment of her death is the time she wakes up. So I'm wondering if it would just kind of ruin the transitions.
Maybe not, because it lingered on it when she was in the burning car.
It did, yeah, that's true. Because some of the transitions are actually were the transition from her death to back down. There were some interesting ones there.
Mm-hmm.
Or like anytime she gets stabbed in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess they could. Or like maybe the deaths are a little different, where she takes longer to die.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could probably linger on a little bit more. Like the insta kills probably would
Yeah.
be a little jarring from
Sure.
death to that.
Because not
but-
every, even in the most graphic slasher movies, not every death scene is an over-the-top
Right,
kill.
yeah.
There are some that happen off camera, or that it might cut away from them. It's not every scene is the bloody bed sequence from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
I like whether this movie was I mean, the movie is a PG-13, but even if it was released as an R, it would still do. This is a Blumhouse movie. It only has a $5 million budget. It's
Right.
Friday the 13th. It's gonna make its
Yeah.
money back. I assume anyway.
And they've had a really good track record with what they've put out. Like it seems like they haven't really, because of the budget, because of the way they make these films, it seems like they always end up making some money off of it, which allows them to keep going and make entertaining films.
Yeah, like whether you like Blumhouse movies or not, a lot of them are really good. There's some shit ones in there, but
Yeah.
they do a lot of movies, so you'll have that. Like Jason Blum is a very smart businessman. Like you're not going over $5 million. Don't ask for a penny more than that.
You know, it kind of reminds me of like Canon Films when they first
It's
got
a lot like
started,
that, yeah.
where they were just doing all these movies, but they made sure the budget was tight, and they put out a lot of good stuff. And so I'm hoping that they don't go the same way where they try and get bigger and bigger and bigger. Just stick to what you know. We may still have Canon Films today.
Yeah.
If they would have just stuck to what they know instead of trying to get on
Instead of putting extra in
Fucking
Masters of the Universe and
fucking Spider-Man and
Superman 4.
Superman 4. Yeah, that was a mistake.
I'm glad that movie exists. Nuclear Man? Hell yeah.
Fucking nuclear.
Would he-
man. Oh, god damn it.
When Superman gets all of the nuclear weapons in a net and throws it into the sun, there's a fight on the moon. That movie's fun.
It's so silly. It is. It's
Yeah.
fun for but as far as like as a good Superman movie, no.
I would
No.
like yeah. I mean, it's not one or two
I'll take
either cut.
I'll take one or two, yeah, and then after that it just kind of gets a little too hokey.
I would rather watch 4 a million times over than Man of Steel.
I knew you were gonna say
At
that.
least I have a good time watching Superman 4.
It has fun with itself. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
It knows what it is, but still, it's like it's kind of like this movie. It knows exactly what it is, and it plays to that, even if it is incredibly silly.
Do you remember the scene where they're hanging that like wrecking ball or whatever it was off of
my
a strand of
God.
Superman's hair, and he
fucking-
steals it by using like garden trimmers?
Oh, consistency, folks, consistency.
That superimposed footage they use of him flying through the subway. It's like the same shot every single time. The opening credits look like a PowerPoint presentation. At least there's joy in that film. You know?
Yeah, I'll give you that. It's fun, even if it's a terrible movie. Oh shit.
Any final thoughts about this?
I don't know, I had a fun time with it. If you're
Yeah.
not going in expecting this great grand spectacle of a movie, you're gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
If you're expecting something serious, or they're trying to play it serious, they don't. But that makes it charming. It really does.
It's a likable movie.
Yeah.
It is. And it'd probably be easy to look at like a trailer or synopsis of this and just kind of write it off as like, oh well, here's this season's Bye Bye Man, or some junk shit like that. It's not that. It's a lot better than something like the Bye Bye Man.
I will say that somebody said something about the 50 Cent that they put in the trailer, like the
Oh, that's not in the movie.
They apparently they just paid to license it for the trailer.
Yeah.
And then her phone has some generic, oh, it's my birthday, so pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Like one of these things.
It has a birthday ringtone.
50 Cent is not in this movie.
But he was in the trailer for Dave and I got the trailer for like what looks like 999 Part 2, like Den of Thieves or something, some cop movie with Gerard Butler. I like a gritty cop movie, so I kind of want to see this. It looks like something you and I will probably be at come January, because we were both at 999.
Yes. Those bad cop movies, yeah.
Yeah. It was like Gerard Butler and 50 Cent, and I can't remember who else was in it. But yeah, it's definitely a January release. Shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know what comes out next week. Is it? Oh wait, yeah, I do. It's next week's Medea Halloween 2. That's me and Brian's date night for
I didn't see
that.
the first one, so I'm out on that one.
Oh, me and Brian did. So like, well, alright, it's Medea Halloween 2. A lot of people watch that video.
Boo,
so
honey, boo.
Oh,
God.
and
Dear,
Geostorm.
there's a ghost. Geostorm, there we go. That
Geostorm also comes out.
second-rate Wolfgang Peterson flick.
Dude, terrorists have taken over the weather. I'm sold. I'm so sold. Speaking of Gerard
Butler, right? Oh, shit. And Andy Garcia's in that, too. And he's the president, and or the Democratic nominee for president.
He's the president in it, and he's already in the trailer way more than he was in Passengers. His role in watch that movie sucked, but like what you see of him in the trailer is literally the only shot he's in. Someone's entire cameo in the trailer. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you next week.
See ya.